Hey, what's going on, family? Tai Chi 360. It's Saturday, which means we've got another wonderful podcast planned for you today. We're going to be having a discussion on the 3 lanes of Tai Chi. Health or healing is one of the reasons that people turn to Taijiquan commonly. Experienced martial artists recognize its ability for repositioning or have simply aged out of the hard style life, which, Taijiquan practiced authentically. We are not actually supposed to be engaging in a martial mindset, and I believe that has a lot to do with keeping us out of the fight or flight mode during our training. It makes it much more difficult to develop the energetic anatomy, which is done through certain sects of Tai Chi Chuan that I'm familiar with. If you're constantly practicing in a fight or flight scenario, creating tenseness, raising cortisol levels, the exact opposite of what we are trying to achieve with the deep meditative embryonic nasal breathing. So I'll be right back because I'm actually just popping off a little bit early, getting this introduction off, and we'll be getting set up here with Marcus Brimage to go over which lane of Tai Chi he's in. It's the martial one, by the way, and why. And we got a few collective consciousnesses here that are really excited to go in on this topic. So hold tight, everybody. Hold tight, and we'll be right with you.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
Got this.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I know you guys have been waiting forever for this topic that you didn't even know was on its way. But if you're watching this as a pre-recorded session, then you already know that we're talking about the different lanes of Tai Chi. And what we talk about that is, what is your approach to Tai Chi, and why are you choosing that approach? A lot of people, they either turn to Tai Chi for martial reasonings, or they're just older martial artists, right? And Tai Chi Chuan is not a hard style, so it's still practicable and practical. If you're an unexperienced martial artist, then you can see the practicality and the repositioning ability of it. So it's often turned to for health and healing, which is what this box is supposed to say. But as you can see, I'm behind the ball here. So yeah, this lane right here is health and healing, right here. And it depends on which lane you're in, depending on whether or not it is health or healing. For example, from a martial artist standpoint, the health aspect of it would be that you can take care of yourself physical therapy wise, even well into old age using Tai Chi. A lot of martial artists need physical therapy because they practiced hard styles for such a long time. Am I right or am I right? That's why I need it. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I love the spiritual and energetic aspects of it. That's really why I'm doing it. So I am in this spiritual energetic lane. I guess it would be pretty ignorant of me to call myself wise, so I'll just put myself right here. Because I've got some experience with this. You know, I've been doing this for about 7 years. If you don't call that experience, then what do you call it?
Pretty experience.
Pretty experienced, yeah. What? I don't even need to ask you, but here you go, brother. Mark your lane.
All right, so let's talk about just Tai Chi in general, just like you
nice.
said.
I like it.
The three aspects that we talked about before.
Hit it.
As I talked about before, there was a man that I actually give the visual representation of, the one who lights up stuff with his hands. Who's that?
Oh, he just goes by Jack. He doesn't really have a name.
That one.
Yeah.
That one is one I wanted the guys to get a visual see because he is using like a softer martial art, and he's using it in a different aspect with the chi, and that is a physical representation of that. So that's like, okay, that's him using, like, let's just say Tai Chi in that aspect with the whole meditation, him using it and manipulating those energies. All right.
Okay, so I'm looking up this Jack Chi Doctor documentary right now.
Okay.
So that I can find this and then project it off to our people.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, who was that guy you were talking about is beating up Tai Chi masters?
I can't remember his name.
Zhu Zhao Dong.
There you go, Zhu
Zhao Dong.
And that's another guy that you can see the martial aspect of Tai Chi. That is a good representation of that because he is defeating Tai Chi masters, and the whole thing of Tai Chi is it has martial application that we have yet to see in an actual fight. Yeah. And that's another aspect where people will like to utilize their Tai Chi is there's a lot of martial applications in Tai Chi as well. And health. I mean, there's tremendous health capabilities of Tai Chi, just like yoga, increase circulation, help you with anxiety, depression. Those are the three usually areas of focus where someone has a interest in Tai Chi. And those are the three areas that I would like to focus on. So,
I want to chime in here real quick. I've got here on the side of the spiritual energetic lane, really anything including posture, deep breathing, and visualization puts you in this lane. If that's what your priority is, meditation, visualization, anything to do with internal care, oxygen, spiritual energetic lane, perhaps the health and healing lane, because you can't possibly do all of these things without it having a profound healing effect on your health.
Yeah, and also you have to be able to generate the internal workouts as well. Just like with yoga, with prana, the internal workouts, and with Tai Chi, and on the way to achieve the spiritual realm is to have a strong body as well. But now let's talk about the martial aspect, which is a skill set in Tai Chi that requires someone else not playing Tai Chi, and how do you utilize like those moves against a person not going with the flow. So those three aspects right here. So we have 3 levels. We have 3 levels of attainment. It is knowledge. And these 3 levels right here, if you know Tai Chi, you'll have a general understanding. You will have a general healing, because Tai Chi is a healing art with healing modalities. Because of the meditations, I know Sifu has you doing that. That's more of the spiritual realm, and that's something that I really don't have.
So why don't you go ahead and mark you know about it.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll be red.
There we go. Yeah,
I'll be blue.
A huge red here.
Yeah.
Right here. So the spiritual, this is what...
Can I see this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You got like, what, 15 years of fighting experience?
Yes.
I think you need about 10 for some wisdom, so there you go. Let's throw you there also. Huh?
Thank you. And healing, I get a lot of... I've got a lot of mobility.
Oh, thank you for the donation.
I've gotten a lot of mobility, a lot of calmness by doing Tai Chi. And because I'm trying to learn more of the martial aspects, a byproduct is by constantly doing the forms, I am getting a healing modality in there.
Yep.
So I'll say my experience is an X and plus with my yoga teacher training and that understanding of healing from that different aspect, I will put me right here in this expert area right here, knowledge, experience, and wisdom. So I'm very experienced in the healing modality of Tai Chi.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I started as a Qigong guy, and I didn't even begin doing Qigong seriously on purpose. You know, I accidentally stumbled across Qigong. I'd never learned about it until I was 20 years old. And when I learned about it, I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, it's a meditative, energy-based, practically the first form that I learned was practically a martial art. Dragon Tiger had a lot of little martial arts stuff in it. So I was like, oh man, at the time I was practicing martial arts, and Qigong actually just completely replaced my martial arts practice. So, you know, I've been practicing martial arts for about 11 years now. I won't put myself on Marcus's level by any means, but I'll give myself experience because it hasn't really been my main focus this whole 11 years either. You know, I can't say that because 5 of the 11 years it was, but after my 5th year of practicing martial arts on my own, I learned about Qigong, and Qigong just solved all of my anxieties and all of the problems that I was turning to all of this health and healing, you know, work out every day, drink water every day, take brain supplements, XYZ. None of that worked for my health and healing, but the Qigong did. And so as soon as I learned about Qigong, because a lot of people don't even know that this exists right here. Okay, let me scoot this a little bit closer just so everybody can see. I want to make sure that everybody can read this little chart, because why not? Why would we have it if you can't? So a lot of people don't even know that this path exists, and so they can't possibly be on it. But once you learn about it, you're almost always so interested in it that you inevitably end up here. Then you realize how large of a task you've taken on, and then getting here just seems like it may never happen. Here seems possible usually, martial aspect. As we get older, this seems to be impossible to a lot of people, this maintaining a perfect body type of thing, you know? But really, I can't say that I have true wisdom in anything, which is it's a lie, but I'm being humble, family, because that's just, I'm too young, you know, I'm too young. I have less than 10 years of experience in my chosen field, but this is my chosen field. That is my chosen field. This is where I'm aiming at, all right, family? Where are you aiming at with your Tai Chi practice? That's what we want to know. No, you don't want to know that?
No.
Oh, I definitely want to know that. Definitely tell me, though.
No, tell you
Go
later,
ahead.
But right now, the whole thing is to focus on where we're at right now. And that,
all right, where are you at right now, family? Where are you at right now?
And that's the whole focus, because where you at right now determines
where you at right now and where you aiming. That's what I want to know.
Where you aiming, but also where you at in Tai Chi. Also, what lane are you in, especially right now, because
Right.
that is what's happening is people are in certain lanes and then they switch over
Right.
into a whole new modality.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, oh my God, it doesn't work because
It's funny that you say that, yeah.
and that's why it's good to aim, but it's also to be aware of where we at of the right now.
Right. Are you
Being
guys
in the
practicing
moment.
this for the martial reasons? Are you practicing it for the spiritual reasons? Or are you practicing it because it's like a physical health or a spiritual healing reason? You know, health and
Or
healing.
just a simple health reason. Some people
Right,
just
right.
simply like to go to the park and do Tai Chi because it helps relaxes them for their day, and because of that, they get the health benefits.
Yerp.
And some people don't want to look at it no further than that.
Yeah,
And that's cool
yeah.
too. You
I
know what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So where are you at right now, right? But here's the funny thing, because if you're here right now, or let's say you're aiming here, you want to be a fighter like Marcus, yeah? You're aiming at the fighter spot. Well, guess what? You're gonna get experience in the health side of things by practicing Taijiquan. You're probably even gonna get experience, or at least knowledge of the spiritual and energetic aspects by practicing Tai Chi. So, no matter where you are or which lane you're in, you're gonna get all three when you're practicing Tai Chi, just without a doubt. Where are you aiming, Marcus? Because you're already here as far as I'm concerned, but you're trying to use this all for martial stuff, aren't you?
Yes, at the moment, yes. And right now, the spiritual aspect is cool, but you have to practice in that modality. You don't get spiritual aspect in Tai Chi without actually aiming for that.
I
You
could
know?
see what you mean, because actually I wrote this down here, experienced practitioners and not a hard style. For whatever reason, this is to remind me of, it's not a hard style, guys. You want to know why it's not a hard style? Because you're not supposed to be practicing with a fight or flight mode activated. If you practice with the flight or flight mode activated, you're not practicing authentic Tai Chi, at least not according to the system that I'm practicing right now with Sifu Lester. We do not want to be acting like we are fighting every single time we're training if we want anything to do with the spiritual, energetic development of the anatomy. At least it's going to be a roadblock if you do. It's not going to necessarily cut you off from it, in my opinion.
Gotcha. But then that's another aspect, because when you get to the fight or flight aspect, let's say Floyd Mayweather. We all know who Floyd Mayweather is, right?
Okay, yep.
So when he boxing,
Boxer,
is he fighting or is he flighting? Neither.
Oh, well, he's definitely
calm.
fighting.
No, he's calm.
No, he's fighting.
He's calm.
Even if he's
why-
calm, he's fighting.
That's why he's so accurate. He's calm.
He's expecting to get hit, though. You know,
But in
the
some
body doesn't
people-
understand the difference between expecting to get hit and actually getting hit. It's part of the imagination.
Yes, but if you've been doing this for over 20 years and you're used to punches being thrown at you,
Okay.
your level of calmness from one person isn't the same.
I
to
understand
the
what
next.
you're saying.
So there we go. So now, so therefore, it's not a fight or flight aspect for him. It's still a sauce. It's still a sauce. Again, and there's the opinions. There's the opinions depending
Right.
on experience levels.
Right. It's like I can read people's energy, so I can see if the martial chi lights up in your left arm, and everybody inside of the ring has the martial chi thing lighting up in their arm.
Yeah,
it's unavoidable.
It's
unavoidable, yeah.
But also being calm enough to do what you need to do in jiu-jitsu. It's
Yeah.
all about being calm. You
Right,
see
right.
nobody spazzing out.
Managing your breathing, right?
Managing your breathing.
Yeah.
And
Anything
also
including
with the-
posture, deep breathing, and visualization. I bet you he does all of that.
Floyd Mayweather?
I bet, like before a fight, he probably does some
Probably, yeah,
imagination
meditation,
exercises.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
shadow boxing,
Right,
all that
exactly,
stuff.
exactly.
And that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Just because he's calm in it,
Mm.
that's what Tai Chi is, being calm in the middle of the storm.
Mm.
The storm is going to be here no matter what happens. Are you going to jump in it? Or are you going to use your Tai Chi to just avoid the cows, avoid the houses, avoid the cars, avoid the stuff in the storm? You still have to go that way. So nothing should stop you. You should use your Tai Chi in the middle of the storm to continue going that way.
Won't argue with that. Won't argue with that. So we're looking at what? What lane? Has anybody told us what lane they're in yet? Oh my goodness. Here, let me refresh this chat real quick. See if we've got anybody in the house that I should be saying what's up to. Oh, let you chime in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Sifu.
I would love to chime in.
Oh, all right.
Just like,
Ooh.
welcome, family.
Oh, what's up, Brother Dan Dawei?
Let me chime.
Brother Jeremy. Good, good. We got a few people in the house. Glad to see you all chiming in.
Live and direct.
Yeah, hey, I got a question. You know, I met Brother Dan.
Let me chime.
I do know that Brother Dan is in the martial lane. Yep. Are you experiencing a lot of health and healing benefits from your Tai Chi practice, Brother Dan? Super curious. You know, I really want to know if your Tai Chi has been fixing your martial injuries that you've shared with me about, or it was a surgery gone wrong because of some martial stuff, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm sharing too much about you on a public broadcast. Sorry, my good brother. Here, Sifu, you wanted this.
Girl, sure did. Thank you.
Yes. Oh.
Something caught my attention. I had to come in. So we were talking about what lane we're in, right? And I heard someone mention fighting. So when I think of fighting from a Tai Chi point of view, before we can fight anyone outside of ourselves, we got to be able to take care of the fight that's inside of ourselves. So Tai Chi, to me, is the perfect tool to do that. There's simply no way for us to even consider going into the ring to have a fight against an outside opponent if we haven't settled the internal conflict. That's the way I look at it. So that's why I look at Tai Chi as being such a great tool to help people who choose to go into the ring, such as yourself, to fight. Because a lot of fighters, they got that internal conflict. Their mind's not settled. They can't quite focus. They can fight. But I feel with Tai Chi, they can take it a little bit higher. That's my perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree with that. It's just that because I like to compartmentalize stuff, and because I do yoga, that is 100% what I think about yoga for. Like why I use yoga? Because yoga is what? There's no one there. In Tai Chi, there's someone here. There's someone here. There's someone here. There's someone here. Oh, he's trying to reach back. Oh, there's someone right here. You know, just in case. I'm putting this up. Why? Because someone is here. I want to protect myself. You know, yoga is no one's doing anything, but it's just me. That's why I just use that one just completely for yoga, and then because Tai Chi, it has the health benefits. Like I said, I'm so happy to get that from chasing this aspect of the Tai Chi, and that's why in the forms, just the constant, and because I'm constantly looking for the martial aspect in the forms, I'm constantly getting the health aspect. Because I don't have an aim for this spiritual, that's why I'm getting just the fumes or the change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm learning this and I'm grasping this, but I don't have a focus here, and that's why this is right here for me right now. And that's why as that lane as a spiritual energetic present right now, I cannot tell a person the benefits of Tai Chi for that like you can. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like for the martial, I'm like, oh, I can see this. Ooh, I can see this. Ooh, I can see this. And for the health, I'm like, yes, but that's what the focus. And then because I don't have as much years as you you're a master for a reason.
Right. So take a peek at this perspective. So Sifu Ron. Now myself personally, I'm not a fighter. Never would claim to be one or anything like that. But not to say that I hadn't used my
Art.
my art, my
Yes.
Tai Chi to defend myself as well as others, right?
Yes.
But I've never been inside of that square. That's a whole nother world,
Mm-hmm.
or inside of the cage, right? So I look at Sifu Ron. He was a karate fighter before Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he said, son, he said, when I gave up fighting, my fighting abilities went to a much higher level.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that until years later. So what he was saying is when he do his Tai Chi, now this is his perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He's not thinking about any opponent. Actually, as he's doing each movement, there is no opponent. It's just him. He's working on moving the energy through his body and outside of his body. And if it happened to be an opponent there, they're going to get the results of him moving his energy in his body and outside of his body. So to a lot of people, it's kind of hard to understand that. It's seen kind of like mystified. You think energy. Well, we all have energy. We're living. You know what I'm saying?
So it's almost like you're bringing your form into. It's almost like you're bringing your form into the fight.
Well, you are the form.
You are the form.
Yeah.
Okay, now hold on. Then what is formless?
See, this is the form.
Okay.
The form that we practice, right? We practice the form with these different movements. Pong, Lu, Jian being the major forms.
Yes.
So those forms are there to help us develop spiraling, coiling, Chan Sing Jing energy.
Yes.
Chin style, they do other stuff to develop.
Yeah.
We want to develop that energy through the movement. So it's not, these movements are not applications. They're just ways of moving the energy inside of that Chan Sing Jing.
Okay, so it's almost like having a yoga approach in a Tai Chi body.
I would say that.
Okay, I could get that. I could do that.
I would say that.
I could do that. I could do that.
Now, the challenge for me as a teacher is working with someone like you. Thankfully, you have an open mind and you get it, but a lot of people who have ring experience, they don't get what I'm teaching them. So, because they got 20 years of fight experience. So, for them to switch gears, it's like, what the hell is he talking about? I want to fight. I want to make my fighting better. How is this going to make my fighting better? Well, that's how it's going to make your fighting better. By making yourself better, better rooting, better grounding, better centeredness, working on that stuff. And then, once you get that, you already made yourself better. Master Liao says, Tai Chi turns a bunny rabbit into a cat. People are like, what's that mean? Well, if you put a bunny rabbit in a corner, most bunny rabbits, not all, they're pretty much defenseless. But if you back a cat up into a corner, out comes the cat's natural abilities. So we want to use our Tai Chi to tune into our natural abilities. You know, we want to use that fight or flight actually as something that works for us and not against us.
So now the whole thing is knowing who you are, and then if your Tai Chi enhances who you are, this is why we need to go back to the lane, because some people are great health guys and they have wisdom, and then they try to say, yo, Tai Chi is good for fighting.
Wrong lane. Wrong lane.
And then they go, you see how it goes back into knowledge of Tai Chi, but not in the lane of a martial, you know?
Completely wrong lane.
Yes, and then now, but you see, but he's a OG here, you know? He's an OG here. That's the thing.
Why don't you mark it? He's so OG.
Yeah, there's it. There you go.
Mark OG.
Oh, so it's with the black. He's
Mark the OG there. Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go.
It's gotta be black.
Yeah, gotta be.
Why can't he be white?
OG, because the board is white.
Oh, because the board is white.
Oh,
right, that makes sense. I guess.
Boom! Right there, right?
Yeah, he's doing it.
But the thing is, he has the OG, and then, you know, black belt. And then he tries, he has the OG knowledge and wisdom and mentality.
Right, that's got a lot to do with it.
And he takes it over here. So he thinks because he's an OG over here, he could just, you know, just basically come up right here.
No. Yeah, he went the wrong way. He went the wrong way.
Yeah.
He aimed there and he landed here.
You see, and that's the thing. They aim here, but the thing is, it takes a special dose reality, usually a fist,
Oh,
and it brings them
fist in the
right,
face. Right.
back
Yeah.
here.
Boom. Oh, I suck.
And then and the thing is now it's like you're still a Tai Chi master.
Right. So let me ask you a question while he's pulling that up, Marcus. This is a question for you. You've been studying Tai Chi now for what? How long? About? You started one time before.
Yes, I started actually about 5 years ago.
All right.
And during that time, I was only doing it because the Sifu I trained under, he wanted me to do it. So he wouldn't teach me Kung Fu unless I came to his Tai Chi classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I was there and I didn't understand it and it looked weird to me. But the other Kung Fu was like, part of my friends.
Oh, it
like,
made sense.
The shit. Like, I was like, yo, this is good.
Nice.
Like, this is really good.
Brother
Like,
Dan says Tai Chi is giving his martial arts back. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I was going to ask you a question about that. So you said you started 5 years ago. So how has Tai Chi influenced your current fighting style?
oh yeah, it's all cool now. It's definitely
What has changed since you've added Tai Chi to your repertoire?
The yielding aspect.
The yielding aspect.
The yielding aspect. And that was a different thing because that was with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
I had that helped me survive Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
The yielding.
Yes, because you always go with big people.
Right.
And you have no other choice but to yield.
Right. You can't use
I
strength.
can't do nothing. So because of that, because of the constant poo, I constantly have to, and like, I was like, hey, and that's when I started to understand just a little bit,
Right.
But yeah, that's but the yoga helped me open my mind up to the Tai Chi. I didn't understand what I was doing until my yoga teacher training. Then I got Tai Chi. That's crazy. Cost $3,000, yo.
You ready to talk about the video, Marcus?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm
Let's
clicking
do
play.
Yeah, so that guy, that's the MMA fight. He's going around. He hasn't gone. My bad. I'm gonna stop this. He has not gone around. The Tai Chi masters have actually threatened him and approached him about fighting because he is a MMA fighter in China, I believe, and he is disrespecting the art and culture by saying that it's fake.
The
and
cultural
everything.
heritage. That's
Yes,
their heritage.
yes.
Right. Pride and joy.
And so he's called out any Tai Chi master to come and fight him, and he has actually responded to a few threats, and a couple of these guys have said they're Tai Chi masters, and he's beat them. And China has basically blacklisted him. Like for a while, he couldn't even get on the train or bus.
I heard it was real
Wow.
rough.
Yeah.
That, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was because it's a national thing, and
They're pissed.
Yes.
They're pissed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Which is funny because also the Chinese Communist government has been basically dumbing down the arts for such a long time that it's super silly to hear them getting mad about this guy whooping the shit out of their cultural people, but also shoving their culture down the drain. Like, I'm sure you've heard about them basically executing Tibetan monks.
no.
Yeah, they've closed off Tibet, and there are monks down there that are like lighting themselves on fire with gasoline and shit in protest.
No.
Yeah.
That's been a while now.
Yeah,
Years.
Yes, it has.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
it's funny to have those two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean?
That's
It's like, make up your mind, China.
So I was going to say,
good amateur.
Pro-am. Gotcha.
I'm going to say that.
right.
Gotcha.
So why would someone with no ring experience even think they could go out there and fight against someone who has any ring experience at all?
So I got my theory.
Yeah,
This
I
is
got
my
one too.
My theory, okay? It's 100%. It's 100%. It's 100%. It's 100% the cheese fault.
You blame it on the cheese?
Blame it on the cheese.
How so,
Blame
my
it
brother?
on the cheese.
How so?
You know, just like just like yoga and doing Tai Chi all the time, it makes you feel good. You feel strong. Like, you know, after a good yoga class, I'm like, oh my God, like, yo, who wants it? Like, yo, I feel it, you know? And after a good Tai Chi class, like, you feel very open, loose, you know? And the thing is, you feel so good. What, the commercial?
Oh, God, yeah.
The commercial? He left the commercial on. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. There's a commercial here.
We lost our
We're advertising for another.
skill motor skill.
We're a commercial for a commercial.
Jeez.
That's funny. But yeah, it's the cheese fault. It makes people feel good. It makes people feel invincible. It makes people feel good,
Right.
invincible. And then like, especially like, think about the concept of chi from a Tai Chi's perspective. You're gathering world and earthly chi, putting inside of you. You feel good, you know.
Yeah, I feel good
So-
too, but
And this is another aspect because Tai Chi people, from what I understand, they only fight other Tai Chi people.
most of them do.
Yeah, like, so everybody knows the
If
game.
they're fighting at all.
So everybody knows the game of Tai Chi. You know what happens if somebody just wants to wrestle you? Like, what happens? See, now here we go right here. Like, right here, he looks like a little movement, but after a while, you can see the fear hits, and then he starts to get stiff.
That guy's already in trouble.
You see, right
His
there.
whole set was wrong.
See that?
Yeah.
See, okay.
So
okay,
to me, he
okay.
like showed no skill at all.
You see, but the thing is, he may still look. He still has Tai Chi master. He's still been doing Tai Chi 30 years. He probably still his circulation good. He probably got
Right.
a badass snake creeps down. like
Right.
it's like that is a different aspect.
Different lane,
Different
bro.
lane. There we go.
He's the OG.
Yeah, he's an OG right here. You
Down
know what
here.
I'm saying? But here we go. He was like, I'm an OG. No.
I'm gonna live to be 100 years old.
No.
I can clearly beat
You
this
know,
guy up who's gonna
and-
cater off at 35.
And that's why MMA was like so different, because at the time you had a boxer who's like the king of boxing, and then he fights a wrestler. Who's gonna win? We don't know. We got
Does the boxer
two.
get a knife?
We got we got two different lanes that's about to merge. So we don't know who's gonna win.
This is true.
And then now we got different factors that might come up and stuff like that. But
My money's on jujitsu.
yeah,
There are no
that's what I'm
women's
saying. But like I said, there's so many different factors that are unknown in that, because now we're crossing lanes now.
All right.
But right here, Tai Chi, you still got your lanes. From my understanding, these are the three lanes. So what we talked about, these are the lanes, and based on what
Yeah, and then you got
Master
levels of
LeGrand told me,
attainment, yeah.
how these are levels of attainment right here, and what aspect are you in? What aspect are you trying to achieve?
Right. So let me ask you a question. With your professional experience as a UFC fighter, what would you advise to any Tai Chi player who is even considering putting on those gloves?
Well,
Where do they start at?
Well, first of all, put on the gloves. Start off boxing or wrestling. Those, in my opinion, are the foundational aspects of fighting: boxing and wrestling. Using your hands, and what happens if somebody takes you to the ground.
Right.
You know, and controlling someone on the ground. So the bare minimum between those two aspects of fighting is boxing or wrestling. And then from there, you can evolve to grappler or striker.
What's going on, Belinda?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And whichever one makes you more comfortable. And you had another friend of mine, student, and he's a grappler. He's a black belt. Johnny Cardona, Pollo Loco. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
OG.
Yes, yeah, he's an OG in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and now he wants to do Tai Chi, but he does things with a grappling mindset.
Hey, so it looks like we got a question here from Right Now. Hey, what's going on right now? I guess you're interested in what you can do if you have powerful chi.
He just told him what to do. Marcus just, what do he want to do with it? What does he want to do?
What do you want to do with it is the real question,
Right.
apparently. There you go. You
use
can
use it for yourself to heal longer,
Right.
live longer, longevity.
What lane are you looking at?
Are you
there you
trying
go.
to? You see, the other
What are you
guy
looking
told
for
you-
there right now? What are you
See,
looking for?
Why didn't you get the one with the guy lighting stuff on fire, man? You're not prepared. The other guy lighting stuff on fire. You see, that was the spiritual one. Or do you want to use it for the martial, wherever lane you want to use it for?
That's it. What did he say he want to do with it?
Yeah,
It's your energy, family. What do you want to do?
what you want to do with it?
Right. You want to learn how to fight?
Yeah. And and that's why secretly, that's why when I went to New York, this changed my whole aspect of martial arts. When I went to New York with Phoenix LeGrand, he took me to
Master LeGrand.
Yes.
Lost Legacy.
Yes, with Lost
Right.
He took me to Brooklyn, New York, right? And I saw these old black men that were ripped up beyond belief,
Physically in shape.
working karate forms. Yeah, I was like, what the, and then it was unreal because they look, I hate to say this, but they look just like the black dude from Tekken. This is older black. I'm for real. That he has gray dreads, but he's yoked up, and they're karate guys, Lost Legacy and karate guys. So like they can still move.
Right.
They're still moving, and like some of those masters are really, really old. So they're using that chi definitely for this. Like some of them, like they look like they 40.
Yeah, quite a bit older, huh?
I'm talking about at least like 15 years older than that.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't look it. So you can still use the chi, use the prana for modalities wherever you want to put it.
Right.
What is your specific aim? But I seen that specifically with Master LeGrand in New York. Those guys, I hate to say this, but those guys were ancient, but they look good.
Right. So we must agree that no matter what, we gotta have this. We gotta have the help.
Yes, the yoga. That's what helped me with majority of my injuries.
Right.
Was the yoga and the Tai Chi, like especially learning how to shift and use your body to twist, because some people twist their knees unknowingly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So being more aware of that, even it enhances your life.
Big time.
So, and that's
known for that.
And if you just want to be just a regular guy, it's okay. You can still do Tai Chi and still get these great benefits from it.
Right. And when we talk of spirituality here, I see spiritual. So to me, we're all spiritual. You know what I mean? No matter what. Now, In Tai Chi, we use a specific. I'm talking about when I say Tai Chi. I'm talking about the lineage that I study because different lineages focuses on different
things.
Right.
That's that's another aspect to talk about too, because different lanes of Tai Chi, and then all of a sudden different Tai Chi, and then different Tai Chi focuses on different things.
Right.
Some Tai Chis are completely martial. Some are completely for longevity, you know? And that's what you have to understand, what you're studying.
Right.
And what you're trying to achieve with your Tai Chi.
That's it. So when it comes to the spiritual and the energetic, talking about having the energetic body in balance, that's when we get into the inner alchemy training. When we talk about all the different energy centers inside the body.
Yes.
Right?
You see? Yep.
So a lot of Tai Chi systems, I've never heard them talk about that. So how do you balance your energy in your body? So when you balance your energy, that means you bring yourself to a higher level because you're imbalanced. And if you're imbalanced, you're working closer to getting up here now. But like you said, you got to put on the gloves.
Yes.
You still got to put on the gloves.
And then that's what, even to achieve, even to achieve this, I still have to train in this. Yeah, you see?
You still got to train in here because in here is going to help you with your focus, with your concentration.
Yes.
How is that going to help you in the ring to being able to be focused and concentrated?
Yeah, you gotta be focused and concentrated already.
Exactly.
Yes.
So who can't benefit from meditation?
Yeah, everybody benefits from everything. And that's what I'm saying, that Tai Chi is just so vast, and has so many different lanes depending on which one you want to go to. But the thing is, you have to have some humility, because you are a black belt in one lane doesn't mean it transfers directly into the next lane.
And that's one thing that I really like about you, because you got that humility, and you got so much experience in the fight game, but you were still humble enough to come to me to sort out Tai Chi, and not only come to me, but to put yourself down and be like a first day student.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's I will admit, I am humble because jiu-jitsu makes you humble.
Why so? Why so? If you will explain, please.
Jiu-jitsu makes you humble.
Jiu-jitsu makes you humble.
You know, because jiu-jitsu is a great blend between the tradition and combat sciences. Because you could be a fighter and do jiu-jitsu. You could be a desk guy and do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And you still have to go in there. Now, if the technique works, it's gonna work on me even if you're a desk guy.
That makes sense.
It's gonna work if especially you hit the right. Of course, there's power and all that stuff, but if the technique is proper, situation's line, yes, you will get that submission. It's just technique, you know. Now let me stop this right now, because I hate it when a whole bunch of heavyweights say it's technique, and then they're just
a little bit off topic.
They're a whole bunch of big guys, so they can't say it's technique because you got 50 pounds over someone. You know what I'm saying? So that's true. That's where pound for pound rankings come in. But again, in a fight martial arts scenario, I would have to go against someone like that, and then how? I had to figure out how, no matter how big he is, how. And Tai Chi helped me figure out that how.
Makes sense, my brother. Let me see what's on the chat. Right now, again, says, I guess this is piggybacking off of the last question. We said, what do you want to do with the energy? But that was never answered. Then another question came in from the same person, a completely different question.
Well, the lane. You got to pick the lane.
Chi, Kundalini, the Holy Spirit. Is this all the same? Well, that depends on who you're talking to, my brother or sister, right now. You know, that depends on who you're talking to. Personally, when I teach Tai Chi, I stay away from anything dealing with religion. I don't get into it. But the Chi, the Prana, the Kundalini, yeah, we talk about all of that. And it's all in the same system. But as far as the Holy Spirit goes, that depends on who you're talking to, my brother or sister. Brother Jeremy says, how would you like martial components benefits? How would the martial component benefits a person focusing on spiritual lane? I'll repeat it. He says, how would the martial components benefit a person focusing? That's a good question.
I got this.
Thank you. Yeah, good. Go. You got
That's a good
this pass on alley-oop.
Oh, swiggity swooty. Yeah, man. All right.
That's a good question.
So
That's the kind of questions I like to answer.
I do not practice Tai Chi for the martial aspects, but I am a Kung Fu teacher. And I can say that in my experience, the best thing about the Tai Chi development so far that I know in my little bit of experience, I've only been practicing Tai Chi for 3 months now, guys. So take this with a grain of salt, but opening this shoulder qua right here, okay, this has energetic value in Qigong. Working with the Qi is easier when you have this relaxed space here. Also, it increases your range. Let's see how much. So in Kung Fu, we actually trained having our breastplate nice and strong, right? And so this is so you keep the shoulder behind the chest muscle so that you can move in snapping motions, right? But when you combine that with the Tai Chi shoulder qua, now you have basically a second elbow. Your shoulder becomes almost like an elbow, and it increases your range by about 4 or 5 inches. And it's not just an aggressive thing, okay? This is a defensive and an evasive thing because you can use this extra 4 or 5 inches as cushion. You can absorb impact with this extra 4 or 5 inches that you got here, which is just awesome. You know, I never knew anything about having this shoulder qua open, and it seemed contradicting to me during my Kung Fu teaching because we were always trying to keep the chest in front of the shoulder muscle. So doing that is kind of impossible when you're opening up the shoulder qua in Tai Chi. Did that answer your question, Brother Jeremy? Benefit a person focusing on the spiritual lane? Yeah, just opening up the energetic flow, really. But opening up the energetic flow also increases your martial arts for the reasons that I just explained. Did I nail it, Marcus? You probably have some. I actually want to ask you what.
Because be honest with you, it's hard for me to answer it because at the moment.
Would you like your seat back, Seafood? All right.
At the moment, right now, it's hard for me to say that because I do other things for the spiritual component because I'm so focused on doing certain things. Like when I meet with you guys, I do the form, but my whole mentality is the martial component. Like why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why? And then like when I feel that, I'm like, oh, that's why I understand it, and that's because that's just the lane I'm in. Now he asks about what martial components benefits a person focused on the spiritual lane. I don't know because
you're focused on the martial.
There you go.
Got it. Yeah, see, because I'm focused on the spiritual.
Oh,
here we go. Please, Seafood.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're alley-ooping it.
It's the alley-oop.
Oh, you got to catch it right.
Oh, there we go.
Oh. Throw down. Hey, but family, Jeremy, that's a very good question, very serious question. And by this on?
Yes. No, it's not. It got clicked on the way.
Hey, Jeremy, great question. And actually, a very common question. And I understand your reason for asking. Now, the answer could take 10 minutes. I'll make it 1 minute. So you say, how does a person on the spiritual path benefit from learning the martial? So if you think about the way that I've been teaching you all Tai Chi, first of all, we focus on ourselves, right? Beginning with the single form training. Working on ourselves, getting ourselves together. So then, after you've been working on that, or while you're working on that, you begin to focus on things outside of yourself, the universe. So oftentimes I say that the universe is everything outside of ourselves, everything and every non-thing, including people, places, and things. So if you're on a spiritual path and you learn how to deal with, for example, when we do martial application, how to deal, or push hands. First of all, push hands teaches us how to engage the energy that's coming in towards us, right? It teaches us how to interpret the energy and how to respond to the energy and how to use a minimal amount of force. You know, most martial arts, unlike what I've learned from Tai Chi, they're based on destruction. Completely just getting something done. Using excessive force. And unlike what we study, we have 4 levels of self-defense. So the first level is, first we have forgiveness, right? That's definitely dealing with spirituality. We must learn to forgive. And then we may have to step it up a notch. We may have to actually put out a little punishment, a slap on the hand. So we have forgive, punish. We may actually have to take it even a step further than that. And we may have to destroy something. We may have to break a bone. Notice that it's getting a little bit more aggressive along the way. But we start out on a very low physical level, meaning that we do our best to resolve the conflict without having any conflict. So we say no enemy, no conflict. And I'll be honest with you, I've actually been in more than one self-defense situation, and I was able to use my Tai Chi to help myself as well as save others' lives against single and multiple opponents. And you know what? Out of all of those altercations, I never had to hurt anyone, and I was able to end the conflict without hurting even an ego. Yeah, it just ended just like that. So we're learning, although we're learning a martial art, it's a whole nother way of looking at it, because our guiding principle of Tai Chi is, first of all, is to help and not cause any harm. I'll say that again because I know you didn't get it. To help and not cause harm. So what martial art even have that as a preset? They don't. So we aren't learning that, family. So I'm talking about Tai Chi and how Tai Chi handles conflict completely from a spiritual level. And as I said earlier, the biggest challenge for me, even teaching Marcus or anybody that's a fighter, is how do they learn to embrace the true Tai Chi way inside of a square? Are they going to go in that square and think about being kind? I doubt it. So that leads into another subject of being various levels of Tai Chi. You have a more physical level,
Right.
and you have a very high spiritual level, which can be very scary. That's why Sifu Ron, once he learned Tai Chi, he actually retired from fighting, because he said his ability went so high that he scared himself in the ring. He scared himself, so he decided that he would retire. He said because his ability was just unreal.
Probably realized it was impossible to step into a ring without meaning harm, because he knows he's going to send it right back to the guy.
Right, so the meaner and more destruction they try to bring, the worse it got for themselves. So that is a spiritual way of looking at it. And family, I think we got to wrap it up. I hope I was able to answer your question, Brother Jeremy.
That hour zoomed by real fast.
Yerp.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a live podcast coming up.
Yep.
So
Or the Distant Disciple class.
Distant Disciple class
right?
coming up.
Distant Disciples.
So, Brother Jeremy, was I able to answer your question, or did I confuse you even more?
Oh, I hope both.
You already know what time it is, family.
Hey, we got to get so we can get back on it, family. Peace.
Tai Chi 360, right back at you,
Brother
baby.
Jeremy says, thank you, Sifu. That was an awesome answer.
He
He loves it. Peace, family. See you soon. Definitely check out the Patreon if you're interested in getting 4 classes a week with Sifu for $4 a month. All right, just
Come on in,
ridiculous.
family.
Ridiculous.
Come on in, get this Tai Chi, family.
You get at least a little bit of all three of these different lanes by practicing the Temple Sun and Moon system. I can assure you and guarantee it personally. You can hit me up if you've got any questions.
Tell Marcus to come bow out. Say goodbye. He started the podcast.
Hey,
right?
Marcus, get back out here. Say peace to the family.
You're...
All right, everyone. Have a nice day, and remember the 3 lanes, and it's totally the Chi's fault.
Yeah,
And most definitely
the guy who doesn't do any qigong.
Yeah, that's the Chi's fault because it
And
makes
most
you,
definitely stay in your lane, right?
Yeah, because
stay in your lane,
it makes you
motherfucker. Get outta here.
it makes you feel good. The Chi makes you feel good. You feel young. You feel powerful. Look at Ollie. Yo, Ollie is 102. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. He's only 30 in dog years, bro.
He's 100. Look, that man's 102, and he still walks and moves fast.
Hello, family.
See, 102 years old. You know what
You
I'm
gotta
saying?
say bye to the family. There you go.
Can they see you?
Oh, they can see him.
Hey, family.
Chief,
I love it. I love it. I love it. It keeps me like a kid, you know, and I stay that way because I always say when people go to work, I go to play. And they call it work. I was like, all right, I'll agree, but I play. I do a lot of Taijiquan in and out
You're
everywhere.
cultivating all the 30 years cultivating all the
See,
good
Marcus,
stuff.
I see you aiming here.
Yeah.
I see you aiming here,
I'm
but I
telling
see you
you.
landing here.
I'm telling you, no, it's just an observation. Why does he think you can fight and you can't? Yo, and you do that for 3. I'm here. Yo, because I love the benefits of, but I'm not focusing. I just get it because I'm constantly doing
That's
the forms.
true. I know.
And I get a little bit, but it feels good. I told you feel powerful. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what's going on. It looked like 102. I'm not lying. 100. I'm not lying. 102. I am not lying. And that's what, and it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel young.
Yes, there are records of people putting fire on paper with chi.
See?